Imagine having two full-time jobs. Your first job is the one the world sees. It's the job of being a student, an employee, a partner, a friend. It's the job of living your life. But you have a second job. A secret job. One you've been working since you were a child. One you never get paid for, and one you can never, ever clock out from. That job is being your own parent. If this sounds familiar, then you know the unique, profound, and unspoken exhaustion that comes with it. It's a weariness that is not in your muscles, but in your soul. It's the feeling of having been an adult your entire life. From the outside, you are the picture of capability. You are responsible. You are self-sufficient. You have it all together. But on the inside, you are tired. You are so tired. Because you have been doing the work of two people for as long as you can remember. This is not a metaphor. It is a psychological reality for so many of us. It is the legacy of a childhood where the parent chair at the table was, for whatever reason, emotionally empty. Perhaps your caregivers were dealing with their own unresolved trauma, with addiction, with mental or physical illness. Perhaps they were just emotionally immature, children in adult bodies themselves. Whatever the reason, the result was the same. The steady, guiding, and comforting hand you needed was not consistently there. And in that absence, you, a small child, in an act of brilliant and heartbreaking survival, had to stand up on your tiptoes. And you had to learn to be that hand for yourself. You were not just a child. You were forced to become your own parent. And that meant taking on a set of jobs you were never meant to do. Your first job was to be the motivator. You had to be the one to wake yourself up in the morning. To make sure your homework was done. To push yourself to keep going when you wanted to give up. There was no gentle, external voice providing that structure and encouragement. So you had to forge one out of steel, inside of your own head. Your second job was to be the comforter. When you had a nightmare, you had to learn to soothe yourself back to sleep. When your feelings were hurt, you had to be the one to wipe your own tears. When you were scared, you had to be the one to whisper, "It's going to be okay." You never had a truly safe lap to crawl into, a steady presence to absorb your pain. So you learned to build a sanctuary inside of yourself, and you learned to retreat there, alone. Your third job was to be the protector. You had to become your own bodyguard, your own security system. You learned to be hyper-aware of your surroundings, to read the moods of a room, to anticipate danger before it happened. You had to create your own sense of safety in a world that felt fundamentally unsafe. You learned to be a fortress, because you were the only soldier guarding the gates. And as you grew, the list of jobs just got longer. You became your own financial planner, your own cook, your own life coach, your own disciplinarian. And the child part of you, the part that was supposed to be playing, to be messy, to be carefree, that part had to be quiet. It had to be suppressed. Because there was no parent around to take care of it. You were too busy running the company of you. And you carry the legacy of this silent labor into your adult life. It shows up as a relentless, and often cruel, inner critic. That voice in your head that berates you for the smallest mistake? That is not just negative self-talk. It is the internalized voice of the harsh, demanding parent you had to become for yourself to survive. It is the CEO who believes that if they are not constantly pushing the employee, the whole enterprise will collapse. It shows up as a profound inability to play or rest. Rest feels dangerous. Play feels frivolous and unproductive. You feel a deep, anxious guilt when you are not doing something. This is because the inner parent knows, from experience, that there is no one else to pick up the slack. Your worth became fused with your productivity, because being productive is what kept you alive. It shows up as a fierce hyper-independence. You never, ever ask for help. The very thought feels like a catastrophic failure. Because you learned, from your very first job, that you are the only reliable employee. To need someone else feels like the ultimate, most dangerous risk. And finally, it shows up as a deep, quiet grief for a lost childhood. It is a sadness that has no clear source. It is the ache of watching other people move through the world with a lightness you have never known. You are grieving a carefree existence you never got to have. You are mourning the ghost of the child who was never allowed to just be a child. So if this is you, if you are tired, please know that your exhaustion is real. It is valid. and it is profound. You are exhausted because you have been doing the work of two people for your entire life. The journey of healing, then, is not about becoming more responsible or more disciplined. You are already a master of that. The journey of healing is about learning to resign from your second job. It is about finally giving yourself permission to just be the child, and to let the wise adult you are now take over the parenting, but this time with kindness. It begins with acknowledging the labor. You must look back at the small child you were, not with judgment, but with awe and reverence. See them. See how hard they worked. See how they kept you alive. And say to them, "Thank you. You did an impossible job. You can rest now. I've got it from here." Next, you must practice the terrifying and revolutionary act of delegating. You are no longer the only employee. You can ask for help. You can lean on a trusted friend, a partner, a therapist. You can allow other people to take on some of the roles. Each time you ask for help, you are reassuring that inner child that the world is different now, that you are no longer alone. And you must, with intention, schedule time for non-productivity. You must schedule time to play, to rest, to do absolutely nothing of value. At first, it will feel wrong. It will trigger a massive amount of guilt. This is the work. You are teaching the inner parent, the CEO, that it is safe to take a day off, that the company will not collapse if you allow yourself a moment of joy. You are not just a worker. You are a human being who is worthy of rest. And this is the heart of the journey. You can finally reparent yourself, but this time, with the gentleness and compassion that was missing. The adult you are today can now turn to the child inside and be the parent they always deserved. You can be the one who comforts them, the one who protects them, and the one who finally, after a lifetime of work, gives them permission to go outside and play. If this video was helpful for you, please show your support by clicking the like button. To continue this journey of healing, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. And if you know someone who has been carrying the world on their shoulders their entire life, please share this video. It might be the permission they need to finally rest. Thank you for watching. The shift is over. You can clock out now.